Okay.
All right.
Button.
All the buttons have not been pressed because I only pressed one of them.
Just you.
We have talked about this before.
One.
Yes.
Yes.
The push to talk button has not been pressed because this is voice activated. Hello and welcome to Pack Tactics Season 4. This is an all kobold campaign. There's some homebrew going on. Less homebrew than when we started because before I had to homebrew the Spelljammer stuff. No more! Oh my gosh, we've been doing this for a while now. My name is Crash. I'll be your DM for the evening. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Jen. What happened last time?
Visions.
It was all a dream.
Most of it was.
Bupaki. Irritated a blue dragon in a vision.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's true. You get a lot more information from people when they think you're dumb because they think you can't understand it.
And the black dragon talked to two people in a visionary swamp. And the green dragon was very frustrated because talking to absent-minded little kobolds is an experience. And Sori and the red one bonded, kind of. I mean, Sori would have liked to have bonded, but I mean, you know, problems.
The red dragon had a very nice home. You loved the carpeting.
Yes. Wiggle the toes in the lava.
And all of the dragons pretty much had the same offer. Hey, we'd like you to go off-world. Would you like us to help you get an angel ship? That or it was Clippy, popping up out of the corner while your computer slows down to 50% of its processing power to say, I notice you're attempting to get an angel ship. Would you like some help with that?
Yes, but with the little problem that you see, the white dragon is going on a rampage, and they don't like that because the white dragon is likely to actually kill the people who are worshipping them, which presumably would not help their power base, actually.
Well, when your power base is made of squishy mortals, and the opposition that's throwing a temper tantrum is an ancient white dragon god, you end up with fewer power base.
It's a problem.
And so far, it's just one mountain that's been crushed. And there weren't many people on it. But there were a few people nearby.
Notice the past tense.
I'm sure they were able to flee in terror with enough warning to avoid the large chunks of boulders raining down from on high.
That town that's entirely covered in volcanic ash with all the people. Yeah, right. Plenty of time. Actually,
No, the mountain that was being destroyed wasn't volcanic in nature.
Squish.
One of the townsfolk is outside saying, "No, my pumpkin patch!"
Well, at least maybe they can sort of run between the raindrops, so to speak.
And my pumpkin carriage! I had to get that back by midnight.
Guess you're stranded, Cindy.
I'm not gonna get my security deposit.
Nope.
Squish. My glass slipper!
No, that's Crunch. You realized that if it was a pumpkin carriage, it was squashed.
The wielder of the fish cannot be /fished, apparently. The Shrike ship says, processing, finding nearest freshwater lake.
No. No fishing
Nose
with
dive.
the Shrike nose.
No, the Shrike nose is a piercing ram. This is super effective. According to the stats, it does an average of 88 damage. There aren't many fish that'll survive that. There won't be much left of the fish to harvest. You see a few glittering scales go by.
Depends on how big the fish. Just saying.
88 damage.
Anyway.
It's gonna be a pretty big fish.
Yes.
If you want to see anything other than a slight haze of fish scales flying past you.
We need to make the landing gear able to, like, be a grapple as well one of these days. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm contributing to being off topic.
We accept you, one of us. Okay, so after you recovered from your visions and had a discussion about it, the rest of the trip to the Ashlands is fairly uneventful. There's some great sunrises and sunsets. There's plenty of time to have conversations on the deck or below deck, or see
And a long
Bepaki
rest.
hanging out on the deck. Oh yes, you all get your long rests.
Just making sure. Because Sori wants to do ascending.
Sori wants
We're
to do
already
ascending.
fine.
Yeah, she wants to update things.
All right.
The people back
already up.
on Circulus. She wants to tell the people back on Circulus roughly what's going on.
Okay, and how is Ascending going to do that?
Well, she has the spell.
Who are you sending it to?
I mean, she's sending it to the leader of to Oldest Kep.
Okay. So oldest Kep is getting the sending. All right. So Sori Thala sending. World has 5 dragons as gods. Very powerful. White one destroyed a mountain. They want us leaving ASAP. Advise? Red seemed nice. And for the listeners at home, that was a pun on the word from Ellie's comments for ascending, not ascending.
Oh,
You couldn't ascend. We were already up. The ship was not vacuum rated.
To be fair, I think we could go more up. We just shouldn't necessarily.
Not always wise.
we're not so we're not so busy thinking about could we that we stop to think about that we don't stop to think about should we. We do think about should we. We decide no.
Also, I found an image of the red one.
That's a Fraggle.
It's Red Fraggle.
It is. Yeah.
True, but not a red dragon.
I mean, it wasn't a cave.
Sori is very.
Just saying. You didn't check for doozers.
I suppose an old enough dragon could churn itself into a Fraggle if the dragon wanted to.
An old enough Fraggle could also turn itself into a dragon if it had the right spell. It's circular.
You just have to get enough levels as a dragon. Never mind. To become
One of these days we will have
To
that
become a
campaign
small-
happen.
yes, to become a small dragon the size of a large dragon.
And for the listeners at home, here's the deal. Using Foundry VTT, you can take any creature in the game and toss a character class on it, thus allowing that creature to have character levels and level up. You can do this with baby dragons, who can then, in theory, become adventurers and gain enough levels to be able to cast the spell Polymorph, and therefore turn themselves into a larger dragon.
Mm-hmm.
If you level up fast enough, it's speed aging.
Because dragons get more powerful as they get older.
Yes. And an adult dragon is very, very old. Well older than Gox is, and yet Gox is an adult gold dragon.
Yep.
Because this has already been done. But not by dragons. So yes, that little thing that Foundry VTT lets you do has me wanting to do a campaign where dragons actually try this. But that is another campaign that is only theoretical at this point, although we have set it up 2 of the characters. But never mind. You have arrived in the Ashlands. You've been going over it for a little while. It's a little bit slower than taking the tram, but the tram station, as we discussed before, was temporarily out of service until the mountain can be rebuilt. That might take a while. It depends on plate tectonics. It's fine. It's fine. The plate tectonics here are totally artificial. Maybe you can speed them up. Everyone at the coast goes, no!
I think we're back into the whole busy thinking about if we could, but ought to be thinking about if we should.
Well, you know what you should do? You should go stop at that oasis you were at before with the moon-touched Karasites. That is where you left Bapaki's crew with her first mate. Where if I check First Nate was Sapan.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Okay. And the blue dragon was also there, Dirkja. And my assumption is because you were going back where you found each other, that is where you were headed. Was I wrong in assuming that?
No, I
think
think that's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, you are arriving. You can see the oasis below you, and there seem to be some steady tracks going through the ashlands that all meet up at the oasis. Many of them have caravans moving on them. Apparently, business is booming.
Nice. Useful.
Good for them.
The front of the ship tilts down sharply. Processing. A considerable weight has landed on the piercing ram. Please advise.
It's Dirkja.
Oh,
Sorry, sorry,
hello.
bounced out.
It's a good thing I decided to land and investigate. I almost lightninged you from below.
Please don't.
No, why would I do that?
Because we're a weird flying thing and it might be a threat to your territory?
Well, clearly you're not a threat. You're the reason I have this territory. And all of these people who are doing things to make me happy.
You never get to lightning anything anymore.
Oh, no. Dirkja still gets to lightning things.
Dirkja gets to lightning anything that does not give appropriate tribute, huh?
Yes, and apparently, as Dirkja will fill you in, flavoring things in a very narcissistic way, because dragon. Essentially, the fact that there is a blue dragon here at this oasis that isn't trying to burninate the countryside, or electrocute the countryside, as depending, has caused a lot of people to want to come and see what's going on. Also, anyone who would normally try to raid such an oasis to take all the loot for themselves has realized there is a blue dragon that is friendly with the moon-touched Karasites. And they've decided to raid somewhere else and then bring what they've looted to the moon-touched Karasites for trade.
It's more profitable for the blue dragon this way, isn't it? Sori's not going to gloat about this. She's just going to be so delighted that everything is working out. She had hoped that it would work out wonderfully like this. She had faith in them all.
And thank goodness he's not a Darth anymore. Just Maul. I could have gone the other route and said, yes, you had faith in the mall, which is what the Oasis has become. There's shops everywhere. There's a Cinnabon that you can smell. No one has found it, but everyone smells the Cinnabon somewhere.
Someone is casting prestidigitation.
Only when people aren't looking. And then running away snickering. Trailed by the smell
This
of snickerdoodles.
I want a snickerdoodle. Crash, you monster.
Ellie, I'm pretty sure I recognize what song that is, but I don't think I can match the pitch for it properly to sing it. That is nice. And Bapaki already has inspiration, so you get nothing. Except my gratitude. All right. So the Shrike ship is able to land, escorted in by Dirkja. Not unlike how a kindergarten teacher will escort children into the classroom, where everyone who's watching
Everybody
this,
hold on to the rope.
yes,
Yeah, that's it.
everyone watching it is fairly certain the kindergarten teacher is the one in charge, but the kindergarten students are very certain that they're the ones in charge. This is very much the dynamic. We can argue later which of you is the kindergarten teacher and which of you is the kindergarten student. Dirkja has an idea. I will not say that Dirkja is right. Dirkja is a young blue dragon and may or may not have been holding onto a rope. Processing, please let go of the rope. It is a load-bearing structure. Oh, sorry. Please mind the gap.
The gap.
Yeah, it has a sale on sweater vests right now. You are going to the mall.
Right? That's how
I'm
it
not-
works.
I'm not sure this bit is incredibly funny, but I'm committing to it.
I think that's fair.
Right. And one of the parasites approaches as the ship lands and says, well, haven't seen one of these before. Do all ships have feet? Never really seen them out of the
This one
water.
does.
They shrug. All right. Well,
We try not to go into the water.
are you here for selling, buying, or both?
Visiting. Tourism.
Ah. They go through a clipboard, rip out a colored paper, and they slap it onto the side of the ship. Okay, you can't stay here. Go park over in lot C45. It's over there, matches the same color as the sticker.
All right.
Everything's organized.
That'll be 5 gold.
How about I just promise some healing?
I'm actually feeling pretty good this morning. Maury leans over the railing and says, how about we promise not to tell everyone that you've set up this scam to get 5 gold from everyone who shows up? Yes, thank you for your payment. Have a wonderful day.
Sori was biting her tongue on the concept of, yes, but you might need the healing later.
Maury looks at the rest of you and says, I read surface thoughts.
Maury, you know what? I love you.
Maury gives your head a gentle pat.
Sori sort of leans into it with a little happy lizard face.
I believe we have a
Okay, happy
GIF
dragon.
of that that's already been shared in the chat.
Yes.
Where the coloration
Yes.
is correct.
Exactly.
All right. So you have landed, you've parked, you have gotten out of paying a grifter for a parking permit. What do you want to do?
Now, everybody remember where we parked the
People
ship.
know that.
I'm sorry, Io.
Oh, Longcup was saying, in response to what does everybody want to do, I assumed that other people knew that.
We probably need to tell Dear Kid that we can't stay very long, otherwise everyone will need to evac.
Why do you say that?
Uh,
Dirk has been
Politics.
sitting right next to the ship as you've been saying this.
Yes, that's reasonable. Sori doesn't want to hide things from Dirkia. Dirkia is a good ally, and you're supposed to take care of your allies.
Who
One
only
of the
lightning breathed
gods
a
of
few
this
people.
world is very angry that people not of this world have opened certain doors which were opened because clerics attempted to dissect us.
Would not have thought to blow that.
Dirka adopts a pensive posture, while Sori adds,
We wouldn't have tried to do it except for the whole wanting to dissect us problem. So it's their fault.
It is the fault of the clerics.
Yes.
It is also the fault of the god who has decided to rampage.
Do you
Or
think he's a
Paige.
barbarian?
I do not know. He may be.
for the record, Ellie, I heard that, and you already have inspiration. Also, Paige isn't here. Paige is back on Circulus.
Well, yeah, it's going to take a while.
Yes. And may whatever deity they serve have mercy on them for attempting to rampage. They will be murdered and be found without their teeth. Or worse, they'll be adopted.
With
Well,
or without
parts
teeth?
of them anyway.
Stay in good hands.
True.
Millie's still slightly upset that I did not actually give her Paige a space shark.
Right.
Alas.
Space sharks are a big responsibility. You got to take them for walkies, which is very hard because they're aquatic.
Yes. No.
So, the gods are mad you're here.
One of them's mad we're here. The others are concerned and would like us to go away. And I guess we probably maybe should, because I mean that was at least asking nicely. But we can't
So-
stay long. But we do need to find some way to get supplies.
So how far are you going? 1 continent? 2 continents?
Maybe off the world. That's where they want us to go.
Oh. How many continents away is that?
Lots.
I've only been to 5 so far.
Ooh, they like.
It is going up until you find another down.
I tried that once. I passed out, and when I woke up, I was finding a down.
But the same one as before, I think.
I mean, possible. Who knows how far I went when I was going up. Anyway, I was really little back then.
There's special ships for going up high enough. I don't think this is one of Ponder.
Processing. This ship is currently not vacuum rated.
Right, that.
It talks! Wow, I'm really glad I didn't hit you with lightning.
Too.
Processing.
Thank you.
Thank you for not attacking the ship with lightning. Previous beings who have attacked this ship have, for the most part, been utterly destroyed. 2 groveled to their death. What?
They weren't dragons. They were ice things. Groveled to their death. That certainly is a phrase.
That's why Dirk is confused.
It's also accurate.
Killed, Dirk understands
They-
that. Knocked off the ship, Dirk could understand that. Hit the ground so hard the tail fell off, Dirk would suggest that maybe the ship needs some shoring up, but could understand that. Groveled to their death is certainly a sentence. Not one that is said
fairly
often.
Accurate one. Well, they were attacking, so they apparently did not resist spells, and then they fell down and they took part of the ship with them, so we had to land and fight off more of the things and get the ship repaired, and now we're here.
Oh, so
really
that's
shouldn't
why the
stay
back
long.
half of the ship is a different color from the front half.
Uh-huh.
I just thought you ran out of paint or something.
Nope.
Another Karasite approaches and says, one moment, pardon me. So glad to see that you're all being friendly around our honored guest. That's great. I have a message, and I really hope the person's on this ship, because I've been asking every caravan that comes through, and it's getting a little tiresome, although I was promised a lot of gold. So, is there someone on this ship named Backpacky?
Someone has a message for you.
Kind of name something like that.
Good enough. Here you go. They toss a letter onto the deck and walk away.
Okay. Well, time to learn to read.
Oh dear.
We're learning more about Bapaki's character every day.
Yep.
That was a joke.
Well, yes, it's assumed that
What does
in
the lawyer
Dungeons &
say?
Dragons, if you can speak the language, that you can read and write it. It provided there's a written version of it. It is written in common, although there is some thieves' cant in it. The actual message, if read by anyone who's looking over your shoulder, is talking about the weather, and hope you are doing well, and something about somebody's second cousin twice removed. But what it actually says in Thieves' Cant is, hey boss, we sold all the goods, made a lot of gold, and we're heading back to the ship now. Hope you can catch up with us.
Oh, well, good to know.
So your people have gone on. That's good, right?
Yeah. I mean, they can handle themselves. They've got the hat.
Uh-huh. Are important. Want to leave here. Here is nice, but you don't want everything to get messed up just because they can't get rid of one annoying white dragon. Mutter, mutter. Mutter, mutter. The hat. The hat gift.
I say, that is an excellent hat. Also, what am I doing in this campaign?
Don't know, but you better be careful because there's a great big dragon around.
There would be no GIF on the planet because if any of their ships were shot down, they would be explosive. All hands would be
Oops.
physics.
This is why you don't want to make your ships explosive.
The ship itself wasn't explosive. The copious amounts of black powder were explosive. There is a difference. The ship itself was just flammable. We like to refer to it as pre-shrapnel.
Sorry, like ships where you can actually have a bad landing that you walk away from.
The trick is to just not have a bad landing.
No. That's the optimal, not the trick.
Every one of our
Because
pilots has
sometimes
never had a
people
bad
shoot
landing.
things.
They are the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
The GIF give a new meaning to a good landing is when you walk away from.
Evolution
I think that
in
meaning already
action.
existed in that sentence, but yes. But the GIF are not here. That is my gift to you. The question is, what are you going to do at this point?
Well, we probably need to warn other people on the other side of the planet, the inner side of the planet. And we probably shouldn't stick around too long, but we do need to take on supplies. Does that sound right, Papaki?
Mm-hmm. And we can't leave the planet in this ship.
Mm-hmm. How are we supposed to say if we agree or not on the whole getting, well, because we need a whole new ship, not just a helm. I mean, this is a good ship, but it's not vacuum rated. You'd think if they're old enough and big enough to be gods, they'd consider the logistics a little better.
They don't know about it.
Maybe. Inconvenient. I could probably use healing spells and earn some money to properly buy the supplies we need, right? Sorry.
What supplies do we need?
Food, water, toilet paper.
I mean, I can buy that.
Right. You have been earning money.
Yeah.
We've just been going to the center of the world. Sorry, had forgotten that Bapaki has money.
Well, between exploring unknown regions and making contact with unknown races and gathering allies, making friends, forging relationships, finding robots, and crass commercialism, I think we all know which one is more important.
Crass commercialism.
You betcha.
Thought so.
And Pipaki will head off toward the market.
Natasha's gonna follow and Natasha's gonna follow Bupaki and look.
The first stall you come to is right before the first stall that sells like traveling supplies, like preserved foods and stuff. And there's someone just going, "Shinies, get your shinies." You've never seen shinies as shiny as these shinies.
She goes wandering over there to stare at them.
A,
I don't think she
a
has any
fidget
money.
spinner
I don't
made
know.
of mirrors.
See. Oh, that would be her thing. Yeah. Yeah, she wants one of those. Trying to figure out how.
There is that problem. I don't know if we've been getting money.
You have not been. You've been
That's
too
the
busy
problem.
dealing with things that have... Cobots have no understanding of commerce. And most humans
We're
you've encountered were either flat broke or were trying to kill you. Or both. Some of them were both. I just opened Butashi's character sheet and you are literally flat broke. You have no currency whatsoever on your character.
Yep.
Bapaki has over 600 gold because pirate. Sori, flat broke. Longkep has 9 gold and 9 silver.
I don't know how.
It must have been in your pockets. It's probably actually in wire form so that you can use it to rewire your familiar.
Every now and then,
Oh, I think I started with it and brought it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then, Smallest Kep comes over with another copper piece and just plops it down in front of you, and then looks up at you like a small dog that's brought you a ball, or a bone,
Aw.
or an interesting looking stick, or a cat that's brought you a mouse.
Whoa.
Like, it could be any of those.
Mhm.
I am not checking to see if lefty or righty have currency. I'm pretty sure they don't.
Not unless they were wearing rings when they got animated.
No. Dragons don't tend to
Didn't
wear
think so.
rings, although canonically there is a red dragon that fancies itself to be a wizard and has tied magical wands to both of its wings. So if it's waiting for its fire
Okay, so-
breath to recharge, it can cast fireball through the wand.
It occurs to me, okay, you're supposed to only be able to wear a ring on one on each hand or something, right? Because
If you put a
otherwise,
third-
like, fields interfere.
If you put a third ring on, none of them work.
Well, what if you put it on the tail?
It doesn't work because it has to be on a ring finger. Or at least be on a finger on the hand.
Okay, but you see, dragon wings are like bat wings, right? They basically have the thumbs and the fingers and
Drakes, yes. Dragons have 4 limbs in addition to their 2 wings.
right. The wings are shaped like hands, except with the long
Oh, the wings are shaped like hands.
leathery stuff.
But they're not hands.
Yeah, so you can put a ring on.
Well, if you like it. Thank you. But while it could be a magical moment, the ring itself would not have its magical properties activated by putting it on a dragon wing. And I love that this is the conversation we're having when none of you are dragons. Yet.
Sora's a dragonborn.
Not the same.
No wings. No
No
wings.
wings.
Yet.
I suppose there's always a chance. I feel like Sori is possibly holding down the ship. I mean, figuratively, it could take off with her, obviously, but just to make sure that we don't get too many attempted stowaways or anything.
All right. So
She's either catching up with Deerk or she is praying.
All right, so Utashi stops at the first stall that has shiny things. The next stall over is a stall that is offering preserved foods for long journeys.
That seems like what we need.
Ah, yes, can I... My, you're a short one.
Yep.
Well, how can I help... you? I'm sorry, they just keep looking at you while trying not to look like they're staring, but they're doing a very poor job of not looking like they're staring.
Would it be easier if I got 2 of my friends to stand on my shoulders and then put on a trench coat?
You know, somehow I think that would make this conversation worse. How can I help you?
Well, time to learn to do math. Actually, how many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. Is Longcap around?
Longcap is somewhere.
Assume so.
You have
Hey,
5
Longcap,
beings who need to eat.
Do your critters eat?
I was going to say something about critters being a misnomer, but no, they do not eat.
Smallest kept tries every
All right,
now and
yeah.
then, but just turns the bread into breadcrumbs because they fall right through the bottom of the jaw.
Oh.
Every now and then, Smallest kept will then grab a bigger breadcrumb and chew it again. Anyway, any case, you need supplies for 5.
Yes. Supplies for 5 for... I don't know how long.
Ah, a journey of undetermined length. Well, we do have some things that might help you with that. Can I interest you in some wonderful dehydrated water?
No, that we've got plenty of.
Ah,
How do you
okay.
dehydrate water?
Well, you just leave it out in the sun until it concentrates into a more distilled form, and you can always get more of it by adding more water to the water.
I do not think you understand how evaporation works.
Ah, but you do understand. Well, in that case, may I offer you the kind of water that you would use to rehydrate water? And they pull out a fancy-looking bottle that has arcane markings all over it, and a fancy cork on top that's... the top of it is coated in a wax with a seal on it.
Precisely the kind of thing that you'd expect to find a genie in. But Sori is not there and cannot say this.
That is an Arcana check.
Okay. Anything going on with that bottle?
Well, Bipaki
No,
may
no. I'm
or
asking. Bipaki is rolling to realize that that's something that might be magical.
yes.
With a 20, I'm assuming she realizes that it's something that might be magical, and so now she's asking Longcap, LK, if there's anything up with the bottle. She may be hoping that Longcap casts Detect Magic.
Longcap not having detect magic
Oh,
just sort of tilts their head.
Longcap breaks through the fourth wall and through a second fourth wall, so an eighth wall, grabs Cavil, pulls Cavil through both walls, and points at the bottle.
Does it Longcap have an Arcana?
I will tell you
Yes,
that with...
but
Hmm?
go ahead.
I will tell you that, Bipaki, with your Arcana roll of 20, we will not confirm nor deny whether or not Bipaki has done any kind of trading in goods that, while not necessarily magical, were decorated to appear as if they were. And there was no denying of their status as being unmagical when they were sold for a considerable amount of gold, but not as much as what a magical item would cost. If this is a fake,
gotcha.
it's a pretty good fake. Better than what you were able to commission. I mean, nothing. You heard nothing.
Tashi's gonna walk up.
Water. The best water you've ever had.
I can.
Oh, but can we all? Oh, but
No, not like
that's
that.
not what you meant. Oh, well, this is awkward.
Can also destroy water. I haven't tried that in a while now.
Please do not try that on the bottle.
Recommend doing it here, lest we have to pay for it.
Okay.
If you are interested in taking a journey of undetermined length, I would suggest that you get a fine bottle like this one. It's not the cheap dehydrated water that I tried to sell you earlier. You seem to be a more discerning breed of whatever you are. This, my friends, is a periapt of endless water.
Oh,
There aren't many of these around. I came across this from a merchant who arrived late last year, and quite frankly, I have not seen one since. I'd be willing to part with it for, oh, shall we say, 400 gold.
It's water, right?
Just water that doesn't run out.
Mm.
The smile on this merchant's face just shifts a little bit when you remind him, I can just make water.
We've got a spell for that. It's sort of like
It-
having an app, only, with spell slots.
It goes from being a genuine, I enjoy what I'm doing, I enjoy this game we're playing, smile to, I am holding this smile because I'm a merchant who's trying to get 400 gold for this thing.
Yeah, Tashi doesn't understand that part.
And yet Utashi is doing a great job. Of course, I'll just rehydrate some water here. And they pull out a bucket that is empty, been labeled dehydrated water. They take the lid off the bucket and start pouring the periapt into the bucket. They fill the bucket, and they close the bucket, and then they put it down, and they put another bucket, and they start filling that one. So far, these two buckets are both larger in capacity than a bottle that size would be. Unless there is a tube that's attached to the side of the bottle and going down this guy's sleeve, there is more water coming out of it than could fit in it.
So it may be the real deal.
So Tashi's kind of like tilting her head one way or the other.
Ah, but how many times a day can you do it?
If it's by the day, but I can make 10 gallons.
The man pulls out a third bucket and starts filling that one up. We're working on gallon 15 now. The smile is becoming more genuine again.
May I fill a bucket?
One of mine, yes.
Of course.
He hands you the bottle and a bucket.
All right. I will upend the bottle.
You fill the bucket. You have now made, collectively, 20 gallons of water.
Well, that's impressive. I'll give you 50.
I believe the starting offer was 400.
Yeah. Your starting offer was 400. Then I make a counter offer.
It's a bold counter offer.
Have you not been to a market recently? Is it?
The man looks at you.
This is how it works.
And then looks at the various stalls that are to either side of you. Then looks around at their own stall. And looks behind them at the large volume of boxes and crates and empty buckets behind them. And they look back at you and they say, I haven't been to many markets. I'm willing to lower my price to 390 gold.
Oh. Big discounter. Well, here's your bottle back.
Thank you.
Now, here's the thing. I happen to know that 50 gold's quite a lot of money. 400 gold is even more.
I have it on good authority that this is an ancient family heirloom.
From what family?
I don't know, but someone's family, probably.
Oh, so you're selling it on someone's behalf, then?
You could say that.
Someone who's not you.
You could also say that.
Would it be true if I said it?
If you said it, sure.
Natasha's...
The person running the shiny stall keeps offering various things to you and telling you how much they cost, and all of them cost something, therefore you cannot afford them.
Mm-hmm. So she's just gonna stare at it.
Now, here's the thing. I like you. I like the way you do business. I like the bottle. So I'll give you 50 gold for it, or I can go to another stall and see what they have to offer, and in the meantime, you can do inventory because you looked away from me while I was holding something of yours.
The smile, if anything, becomes more genuine. I look forward to you finding that this is the best offer you can get for such an item at this oasis. Have a wonderful day.
And you do the same. I really do hope you find someone who's willing to pay $400 for that. 400 gold pieces for that.
All right. So you walk away from the stall.
Yep.
The very next stall sells supplies for long journeys. The person sees you coming. They've heard the entire conversation. And as soon as you get to the stall, the person behind the stall says, he's never going to sell that bottle.
400 gold pieces? I wouldn't think so.
It's fair value for it.
In a city.
What about in a desert?
Or in the middle of a desert. See? We're on the same page.
So what can I get for you?
I'm looking for rations for a long journey for 5 people.
Yep. I got stuff for that. We got dehydrated meats. We got dehydrated fruits. We've got nuts, which are not dehydrated. I mean, we could try, but it doesn't seem to change them much.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a useful thing to spend your time doing.
And we also have sweets.
Oh, I know someone who will appreciate those. I know a couple people who will appreciate those.
I must tell you that they are far more expensive by volume than the dehydrated fruits and meats.
Oh, I expected. What's it gonna run me to get a month's supplies?
Pause while the DM looks that up.
Always fair.
I was told there'd be no math in this D&D game.
I mean, the whole game is played with clicky-clacky math rocks.
Which are literally items that were purchased from an education supply store when they were added to the original D&D, and that amuses me greatly. 5 people for a month.
Math rocks.
Let's say 75 gold. And I'll toss in a bag of sweets for free.
That sounds like a fair bargain. I'm in.
All right. You are handed a crate that weighs slightly more than you do, and a small bag that looks more like a paper lunch sack is placed on top. It smells strongly of honey. Okay.
I'll haul it back to the well, I will do my best to haul it back to the ship.
If you put both hands on one side and start walking, you may actually go backwards.
No.
Yeah. Hey, Longcap, can Lefty give me a hand here?
That is one of the main purposes of Lefty, yes.
I didn't realize what I was saying when I was saying it.
Still funny.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that was a yes. Yes, Lefty can give you a hand. It is very good at that.
It gives its all.
I will set the box down on Lefty.
So are you saying that Lefty and Righty have been here the whole time? Because if you are, I will add that these 3 shopkeeps are the only 3 you have seen.
They're the brave ones.
And there is... Maybe they couldn't get away fast enough. And there is an absence, a noticeable absence of shoppers in the vicinity.
Probably happened is that, everyone's doing perfectly normal stuff and Bapaki is negotiating, and then Bapaki waves Longkep over, and Longkep is probably riding on Righty or something.
Yes, Longkep is riding on Righty.
There is some finagling, and the crate is placed on top of Lefty, and as you leave to go back to the ship, it's like a bubble is moving out of the marketplace, and people start to move towards the stalls again at the same pace that you leave. And if you stop to look at something, the crowd stops. And then if you go again, they start going. And as the crowd reaches various stalls, shopkeeps mysteriously reappear from underneath curtains and stuff.
They can handle a whole dragon being in charge of this place, basically, and they can't handle a couple
The
of
dragon is
dragon
breathing.
Well, yes, true.
One of the tenets of one of their 5 major religions is undead things are horrible and must be destroyed. And most people believe that anyway, even without a dragon god telling them it. Also, let's face it, if you saw a dragon hand as big as you are, walking towards you, like Thing from the Addams Family.
Longcap is confused as to why they are so distressed, as Longcap has not animated an entire corpse. Therefore, it cannot be Uncanny Valley in Longcap's mind. It absolutely can be Uncanny Valley. It is probably more Uncanny Valley, but Longcap is baffled.
If Longcap mentions any of this out loud, Smallest Kep will get indignant. Smallest Kep is intact, and would be more intact if you let Smallest Kep keep the bones that Smallest Kep had scavenged to add to its skeleton.
Well, they cannot see Smallest Kep. They are not getting close enough to see Smallest Kep. They are running from righty and lefty.
Smallest Kep will still be indignant, even if hiding inside Long Kep's robes. It's the principle of the thing.
You have a tiny, indignant skeletal familiar. It's so
appreciate
cute.
that Smallest Kep has more emotions than Long Kep.
Smallest Kep is your emotional support skeleton, which is good because skeletons are known for providing support.
Skeleton.
It's true.
So say
I'm going to step away for a minute while other people get screen time.
Also, I have added 150 rations, days worth of rations, to Bapaki's character sheet. They weigh 2 pounds each.
Sure have.
Bapaki is now over encumbered if I followed those rules. Which means Bapaki needs to walk slowly everywhere you go until the last ration that over encumbers Bapaki has been consumed, and then Bapaki can run at a normal speed again. We're doing Skyrim rules here.
I think what we should do is distribute them around the ship in different locations so that if something knocks the ship's tail off again, we don't lose all the rations. And if something damages the front of the ship, we don't lose all the rations. And if something comes up to the middle of the ship, we don't lose all the rations.
Everywhere you go in the ship, you open a cabinet and there's more rations there.
Look, Sori is a little bit neurotic about this after having one ship where the helm got turned into physics and another ship where the tail fell off.
Why is this bed so
Everything
lumpy?
needs
You
to
move the bed and there's rations underneath it.
She's just a little neurotic about redundancy. If she could stick another helm somewhere on this ship, like maybe 2 or 3, she would.
Mari just wants you to make sure that when you're hiding the rations everywhere, you don't hide the dehydrated meat under Mari's bunk. Mari is a vegetarian. Many
That's
people
really
don't
quite
like to eat
useful
food
because
that resembles what it looked like when it was alive. Mari doesn't like to eat food when she can read the surface thoughts of the food.
Oh dear.
Yep, this was established in the session I introduced her. Yep.
Well, she can't read the surface thoughts after it's been made into food, can she?
No, but most meats are made from animals that she has read surface thoughts of.
That makes sense. Poor Mari. Around all of us, probably not quite, well, some semi-obligate carnivores.
Semi-obligate carnivores and 3 animated skeletons and a thing from the dark places between the stars occasionally. Mari's surface thoughts are... Mari's surface thoughts are blasphemy, blast for you, blast for everybody in the room.
Oh my god.
She really has moved out of her comfort zone, hasn't she? Poor Mari.
Mari's comfort zone has been eliminated due to zoning regulations quite some time ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a reason why Sori keeps gently patting her hand every now and then.
There's a reason why Mari associated her various adventures up until now as nervous breakdowns. Even when she left home and opened up her own shop, the magic of that went away very quickly because capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
So the people in this market that are kind of shying away from lefty and righty, are they scared or are they just confused?
Give me an insight check. Other people I would just say the answer to, but this is Utashi we're talking about.
True.
And also they're all mammals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, insight check. How do I do that?
So on your character sheet, you've got your attributes all the way over on the left-hand side. The next column to that has all of your skills. And if you click on the word insight,
got it.
just click normal.
Insight. Okay.
Acrobatics, animal handling, arcana, athletic.
Okay.
Yep.
There's insight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Click on the word.
normal.
There we go.
Oh.
With a 23, and for the record, while it's not a physics-based dice roll, 19 and 1 are right next to each other, and it looked like it was going to land on 1 and then rolled back to 19.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
yes, they are terrified.
they are terrified. Okay, so Utashi has the calm emotions spell. And
I love that you're planning to do this.
You attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail this saving throw if it wishes. If a creature fails its saving throw, choose one of the 2 effects. They can either be charmed or frightened.
Okay. I'm just counting this one roll for all of them because I'm assuming you cast it on the middle of a crowd.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not rolling for that many people.
Yeah, that's fine. She just doesn't want them to be scared anymore.
And you said if they fail the save, they're either charmed or frightened?
Yes. Yeah, you can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. When this spell ends, any suppressed effect resumes, provided that its duration is not expired in the meantime.
Oh, you can suppress the effect.
And there's another thing if the crowd is... Yeah. Yeah, you
Okay.
could suppress the effect. And
I
then there's
misheard
also,
you earlier.
I probably said it wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you can suppress either of those.
Pressing fear.
Okay.
No, she didn't want to
A
scare.
12 is exactly what... Oh, wait. Ties go to the attacker. I rolled a 12. Your spellcasting
Okay.
DC is 12.
Oh,
You
okay.
just barely manage to calm a crowd's emotions, and they start milling around like nothing happened. Except they're all kind of dazed.
That's better. They're
The,
not so scary.
the espresso shop is getting a longer and longer line.
I helped.
You helped caffeinate a large portion of the crowd, yes. By suppressing their emotions. I'm not sure it's
What?
supposed to work that way.
Oh
No.
no.
I didn't know they were going to all get some coffee.
Well, they felt dazed.
Not scared anymore. Yeah.
They didn't all get coffee, but someone's making some bank right now. All right, you have successfully put the rations on the ship, all throughout the ship. It's possible that the ship is more susceptible to damage, or less susceptible to damage, rather, because the rations, for now at least, are providing additional thickness to the various hull structures. You know how if you go into a candy store, there's going to have bags of candy that are just hanging on the wall so you can't see the wall behind it? It's just the candy. Imagine that, but bags of dried fruit, dried meats, and nuts. Everywhere. It's
there's one
75
on
gold
this
worth
wall,
of rations.
And there's one on this wall, and there's one on this wall. And I think I can hang one from this little part here that's the support pillar.
Maury tries to go through a door, but then can't close the door because one of the bags just keeps moving a little bit to the side and blocking the door jam. So Maury is pushing it back, and then when she goes to close the door, it shifts back again.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, we'll have to fix that. Everyone needs privacy, especially the mammal.
So I have a question.
She's our favorite mammal.
Where are we going from here?
We should probably tell Deza what's going on, and I don't want people to get hurt because of us.
So we're going back into the rail tunnel?
Maybe? I'm not
Because
sure
that
that's a good
thing
idea.
isn't wide enough for the ship, and we
Yeah.
don't have a car. We don't have a train anymore.
Yeah,
The train is flat now.
problem.
Sorry.
Yes?
Would you like to cast sending again?
Oh, what should I say?
Longcap holds up a finger and starts looking like they're trying to count words.
Sorry waits patiently for the words to be counted because, well,
Because EO is counting words.
I mean,
What
words.
did you tell Old Cap?
I told Old Cap that it was me, and I told Old Cap that world has 5 dragons as gods, very powerful. White one destroyed a mountain. They want us leaving ASAP. Advise? Red seemed nice. Should I tell that one to Deza?
Not. I do not think that is exactly the same statement to direct to Deza. No.
Oh, Deza might expect me to send a message, so I might be able to save 2 words there.
Yes.
Maybe, unless Deza is very distracted and it starts wondering who was talking to her.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Longcap writes down a note, and what else do we wish to add to this?
We need a ship that's vacuum rated if we're going to leave on a ship. If we do leave.
Yes.
Door opened? Oh, right.
We need an angel ship is 4 words. That is 20.
I get what, 25? If we're going to leave? Oh, we should probably mention that the mountain is gone. But
I would love it if the last part of the message right at the end is, by the way, mountain's gone.
we need an angel ship to leave, but mountain gone.
Where did it
Yes.
go? Did it take a
that the dragon
vacation?
gods want us leave quite violently, attacking locations we're at. Explain. I think that there is, in fact, an explanation on this T-shirt that does not raise questions about the explanation on the T-shirt.
But why is the mountain
we
gone? We can't get a ship because the mountain isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I love that in context it makes perfect sense. Out of context, what?
It sounds like something Utashi would have tried to explain.
I mean, fair. Very fair.
And when you get
okay,
a
let's
what out of
see,
that, you just say it again slowly, like that adds meaning.
I will cast a sending to Deza of Dragon gods want us leaving quite violently, attacking locations we're at. Patron wanted door opened. Why? We need an angel ship. Let's see. Oh, all right. Vipaki is okay. Dragon gods want us leaving quite violently, attacking our locations, including Mountain Hanger. Patron wanted door opened. Why? We need an angel ship. Ideally, one enough that we can fit one large enough we can fit the Shrike ship into it, or maybe as an attachment to the Shrike ship, because that way we'll have a landing shuttle as well.
The Shrike ship gets a sidecar added that's vacuum rated. The 5 air-breathing members of this party are just shoved in there. You see their faces pushed up against the glass window at the front, with their palms on the window too, because there's no room for them to move.
Yes, but we're the ones that breathe air.
Smallest Cup's in there too, but Smallest Cup has suction cups attached to their limbs.
Oh no.
The sender. Let's see. Creature hears the message in its mind, recognize you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. Ooh, the spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message. Oh, hey, cool. Useful. Sorry, we'll send Bipaki's suggested alteration, I think.
Okay, and that's going to Deza, correct?
That's going to Deza.
Okay. Then Deza can send a reply.
Of 25 words or less. Which will hopefully not be I was asleep.
Deza's player is trying to remember if it really was her patron or if the event that we're talking about is what's her name, the Lich burning the phlogiston.
Your patron was the one who said drop the ring into the I think?
Yeah.
I think that's right. I'm just trying to...
There were multiple entities that saw that they could benefit from that action. And they had their own self-serving reasons for benefiting from that action. They were unrelated except for the action itself.
There are a lot of cooks in this here's kitchen. I really hope you can't hear Percy.
Is it 20 words or 25 words?
25.
25.
Okay. So, sorry, you're going to get a response from Oldest Cap, who you sent a sending a while ago.
Yeah. So, it says you can answer in a like... The sender...
It can
the
answer
person
immediately.
Who receives it can... Mm-hmm.
Yes. So your response is, sorry for delay. Needed to ask for guidance. Hard to do that without activating sending. Pantomime ineffective. We've something in the works. Hang in there.
Does this mean that Sori is getting a new sending that she can reply to?
No, this is the reply. For the entire time since you sent sending, Oldest Cap was staying completely silent because Oldest Cap knew if Oldest Cap started talking, that would be the reply. But Oldest Cap needed to talk to other people to get their feedback. So Oldest Cap started doing pantomime to various notable figures, and they all kept looking at Oldest Cap going, first word sounds like wagon odd. Wagon. The wagon is... Look, start over again. First word, 2 syllables. Wait, no. Oldest Kep has gone for a large sheet of paper and a marker. This might work better. Oldest Kep, that's Draconic. I can't read Draconic. Oh, wait. No, that's common. Wow, your handwriting is very bad. And upside down. On that light, this makes a lot more sense, except for the dragon god things. Is that a type? That's what you actually meant. Oh, wagon. I get that. Why didn't you say that in the first? Oh, you did.
Oldest Kep is wonderful.
Immediately afterwards, Sora will get a response from Deza.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted planetary access. Do dragons know crystal broken? We'll ask kobots for ship commission. Hope hat and certificate come soon. Hope otherwise well on surface.
Certificate needs to come soon. Crystals are broken. Do the dragon gods know? Wanted planetary access. Do dragons' crystals broken? Ask kobots for ship commission. Hope otherwise well on surface. Sorry, will relay this a bit better than I can manage in my current state of, it's an interesting question. Can Sori relate that very well? Maybe I should make an IQ roll. Where did her character sheet go? I had a character sheet. Thank you. This I had to do it.
That's a 4.
You probably get the gist through there, yeah. That's a terrible roll. Sori will repeat it and then promptly forget what she actually said. I don't think I told anything about broken crystals or planetary access. I didn't really mention the kobots. I didn't think that was a good idea.
Deza, on the other hand, is going to write down what Sori sent her and then also write down what she sent back.
Good.
What makes this even better is Deza has keen mind. It doesn't need to be written down. You write it down anyway.
Well, keen mind only lasts a month. She wants a record of it.
That's true. I assume you have a location where you write things that isn't right next to the lava. You don't want your notes to be written on charcoal.
Yeah. She's never going to forgive herself for destroying those murals.
Oh.
At the end of the campaign... They were
created by the victors anyway.
At the end of the campaign, Mori finds out that Deza was upset about breaking the murals, and she's like, "Oh, those were copied out of children's books. Here, I'll give you a copy." Like, everyone has one of these.
Do we want to take 5 while we're at sort of a breaking point?
Probably a good idea.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to pause. All right. So, we're back. And Mori brought up a question that is a bit of a problem. Mori's not the problem. The question isn't the problem, but the question points a problem out. If you want to go back to see Deza, the only way you've done this before is through that tram tunnel. You don't have a tram, and the Shrike ship is too wide. Well, maybe if you cut off the wings. The Shrike ship would prefer if you did not.
Yeah.
So, if you're not going to take the tram, you have to find another path to the center of the planet. If you are not going to find another path, then you have to do a long walk down a railway that at some point goes vertical.
Find some way to contact COG and ask them to build a new tram to send up here, but we shouldn't be hanging around while they're doing that. I can contact COG. I can do sending again.
You need to rename this episode Sending Spree.
Yes.
That's a good
Either
one.
that or You've Got Mail.
That's a good one too.
That would be Dirkia coming in. You've got mail. No, really. That messenger threw a letter on the deck of the ship and then stormed off. It happened at the very beginning of the episode. That was a thing.
There's mail.
Why do you keep counting words?
It's for a spell.
Deza's still at the Central Foundry, isn't she?
Yes. Well, It's not the only one, but she is in a foundry.
In theory, they would have additional trams they could send up.
They have their own track that is a closed loop, but the cobots could make another tram car and put it on the tracks that you came from. And here's another sending. This is sorry. We need a new car built to go to the Oasis Gap. The ship hangar was destroyed. Sending has limited words, sorry.
If you send that to Deza, she already has some of that information.
No, I was planning to send this one to Cog, actually.
Oh.
Because Cog is at the we left our friend Cog, the
Cog Chip Claw.
Cog Chip Claw is in the central area, which has all the cars, and they might even just decide to just shift something over onto the correct track. So
we were talking about that while you were writing your thing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you can build your own over there as well, so, you know.
You get a reply of, supplies limited. Working on something. I'll be there as fast as I can.
You know what? Sorry's going to send another one.
Sorry.
No, sorry.
No,
sorry, not
there.
sorry.
Yeah, indeed.
How many third-level spell slots do you have?
She's about to use up. Let's see. How many have I done? Let me do the next cast here. Okay, let's see. There's the one for.
I think I need to go, y'all.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
Be well.
That's that one, and then she's going to do one more, and she is out of third level spell slots, and she could do one more after that.
Now to send the big bad against you. I'm joking. I'm not sending the big bad against you. It's one of their underlings, a trusted lieutenant.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. That's only 23 words, but you know, we can work with that. No, stay where it's safe. We will have to travel around to avoid a danger. We will return to check on car periodically.
You get a reply that's just,
Cog, please don't come here. You'll have to find
okay.
Fury.
That's all you get, a reply of, okay.
Sorry, Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry is going, phew. Sorry does not want Cog to feel obliged to fight Dirza. Sorry likes her new dragon associates.
Beth talks directly to her character.
Yes. Okay.
That at least you called her just weird and not a weird dog.
That's because she's a weird little dragonborn. But not wee. Petite.
And on that note, I think we're going to end it for the evening. Because we're almost at the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
Less pauses as we count words and stuff. So Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. There was no combat this time. Thank goodness, because we are all tired.
Yeah.
Yes. So my name is Crash. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Jen. Who wants to plug a thing?
Well, Io's mom writes books.
At elizabeth-mccoy.com, and you can ask your library to get the ebooks through Overdrive and maybe a few others. I forget what they are, and I would really love that. And speaking of books.
And speaking of books.
Speaking of books, my website is bookofgen.net. It does have book reviews on it. It's got a lot of Diablo 4 stuff and other Diablo type things on there, and a bunch of other different topics. If you want to scroll through there, it's at net, I think. Yes. And I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is at shatteredsoulstone.com. New episodes generally come out every Saturday, but I had COVID last week, so I didn't do one last week. And yeah, you can find that at Shattered.
And speaking of websites.
And speaking of cats, mine has come over demanding attention. But I'm not building him a website. No matter how much he asked for one, he would not use it responsibly. Mostly because he wouldn't use it. But never mind about that. But speaking of websites, we have one. You can get all of our podcast for various role-playing games, not just Dungeons and Dragons. There's a GURPS one that's also Star Wars. That's happening also. You can get all those at aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel. And I just like that people besides us listen to this. I think it's really neat that there's an audience. So if you're listening to this and you liked it and you know someone else who might like it, why not share it with them? And if for some reason you actually want to help support us and help us break even with server hosting and stuff, well, you can do that too at patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You can join other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying, all right, so that was two of the words. I just need to think of 23 more. Good night, everybody.
Good night.